Hello everybody, my name is Aud and welcome back to the Aud Narrations channel. Today we're reading a story about a guy whose wife lied about simple stuff. If you enjoy this video and want to see more, hit the subscribe button to make sure you don't miss the latest upload. Okay, let's make a start. So, events went in this order as I'm trying to make the story short. We are 6.5 years together and have recently had our first kid. I've never asked about her past because past is past and before us, but she gave me a pretty rough idea of what has been before me. However, we live in a pretty small place where everybody knows everyone, pretty much. I had some suspicions and asked her about a specific person as I saw a different reaction when we saw him on the street and she said nothing ever happened. Turns out, I searched him on her phone and they had a conversation. Pretty much basic flirting before a get-together asking how each other is doing, etc., but nothing more as it probably never happened for real. This, however, made me question her, as when asked, she wasn't honest, even for a silly subject like this. I asked again another day out of the blue about the same guy, now knowing the exact messages, and guess what? A few days later, decided to check his messages again on her phone, and they were gone. When I asked her if I can see the messages, she said sure, and she said that she probably deleted them in the past if they were not there. However, the timeline for all of this was just a week. She claims she panicked, but I'm hesitant to believe anything she says about not having cheated or other things if her reaction was like this on such a minor subject. By the way, she lied to me whilst looking me straight in the eye and without any stress, and I gave her 3 or 4 times repeated questions, even stating that I know something and she shouldn't lie yet. She kept insisting that she did it in the past and not saying the truth, which was 2 days ago. Whoa, OP, major red flags. Let's see what the comments say. The first comment reads, so she lied about who he was, hid the messages between them, lied about having them, and then looked you right in the eye and lied about deleting them. Those are some red flags, and you know she can lie well. Someone replied to this saying, agree. This is bad news, OP. If you're going to give her a chance, these should be your terms, non-negotiable at a minimum. She blocks him on all devices/socials, etc. If he attempts to contact her, then she does not respond and tells you right away. She gives you a written account of the emotional affair/physical affair and leaves nothing out. You want dates, when it started, and each time they escalated, etc. If she leaves out details you later find out about them, you will be done. An open device policy for both of you. No cheater apps allowed on her phone at all. Regular text work just fine for communication. She never deletes anything from her phone going forward. There is no need to delete texts. It's not the early 2000s. She won't run out of storage on her phone. She gets into individual therapy with a counselor who specializes in infidelity. This is not negotiable. She needs to figure out why she was willing to risk your marriage for a cheap fling with some dude. Seriously, until she gets therapy and works through what is broken with her, she will not be a safe partner for you or anyone else. Add any others you want, stand your ground on all of them. Do not rug sweep. And you can change your mind and be done with any time you want. She lost control over whether the marriage will continue when she decided to step out with that, I don't know what, with the possum. I don't know what that means. Good luck. OP replied saying, thanks a lot. We had the conversation like this yesterday and I stood my ground. Well done, OP. Someone else left a comment saying, everything you said is a red flag. She lied. She chose to lie to you. She chose to hide this information. She chose to lie to you about the information she chose to hide from here. OP replied to this saying, most of what she said initially was true, however, just changed the context a bit. She claimed that she panicked because she thought the issue was resolved and she didn't want it to have an effect on our relationship. It just shows a bad way of operating. To be honest, I'm not worried about that guy, but something else might happen that had been hidden. Indeed. Someone else left a comment saying, in the past is technically correct. 2 days. That's a rationalization at its finest. She's an experienced cheater and a very good liar. Nevertheless, cheaters cheat, cheaters lie. It's what they do. No reason she should lie if this guy is much ado about nothing, and yet she's lying to your face. Zero respect. Women who don't respect their spouse/significant other will do exactly what she's doing. You know, now she knows you know, she'll be more careful. She'll deny, gaslight, deflect, and call you paranoid until shown indisputable proof. Walk away now or you can walk away later. Cheaters never stop cheating. Someone else left a comment saying, she lied. She's only telling you what you want to hear. She'll only tell you what you know. This isn't jealousy. Personally, I would check her texts with her best girlfriend, because I bet she knows. I would also tell her that your trust in her is broken and that a separation isn't off the table. Call her out on her bluff, basically, and see how she reacts. Is the new baby yours? Good luck. Good question. Someone else left a comment saying, what's not clear to me is when those convos happened with the other guy. Are they from before you were married or more recent? Also, you need to be direct on your questions. Let's say they spoke before you got married. You ask her if anything happened between them. She says no. She might have thought your question was whether or not she had a relationship with him, and she didn't, so no. Or I'm totally misunderstanding her post. I get the impression this conversation was a while back, although for sure she lied about deleting them and then pretending she didn't know. I'd recommend asking a more direct question to reduce any wiggle room. Instead of asking if she had something going with the guy, ask what you mean. Has she talked to him before? Has she kissed him? Made out? Whatever. If she had a very casual convo with him years and years ago, she answered thinking you were asking if they hooked up. Look, don't jump the gun yet. People sometimes lie for stupid reasons, and it absolutely makes things worse. Don't go file for divorce, go grey rock, or go scorched earth yet. Sit down and have a real conversation with her. So if her past didn't bother you, why did it come up? Obviously, she has probably hooked up with people in the past, so I'm sure there are going to be old lovers around if you still live in a place you grew up in. The time to have brought up the past was before you married. I don't think it's fair to hold it against her now. I guess I wonder what the impetus was. Was it just that guy's reaction? OP replied saying, thanks for the very informative answer. This was in the past, and we stumbled upon the guy sometime, and I saw she was a bit hesitant to discuss as I view him as bad material. As this was in the past, I wasn't going to dive in, but I saw some discrepancy between the info she initially gave me about her past. Truth be told, most of what she said was accurate, although she changed the context. It's the pattern of operating that bothered me as well when I asked very specifically what happened. She was lying to me while looking me in the eyes multiple times when I stated just say the truth, until she saw I had undeniable evidence for her deleting the evidence recently. It just makes me wonder if she did all this for a minor thing, what would have happened for something more serious? Someone replied saying, yeah, I totally get the concern. I know some people are very black and white about things such as lying, but I know from experience, this seems counterintuitive, that sometimes people will tell silly lies that aren't really a big deal. Most of the reason is conflict avoidance, but it doesn't necessarily mean she will lie about bigger things. We don't live in a black and white world. Of course, I don't know your wife, but some people feel it's okay to tell a white lie, but never okay to lie about something substantial. I'll give an example from personal experience. My wife is extremely honest. She's a great person. Now today we practice brutal honesty, but it wasn't always like that in our early marriage. My wife would never lie about anything substantial, but she's told smaller lies in the past for conflict avoidance. It was trivial, but I never doubted her overall honesty and whether she'd tell the truth when it truly mattered. She would, and I've never doubted that. So one example of a white lie was a few years into our marriage. She wanted to hire a professional decorator to get advice on how to do our toddler's room, and we agreed on a budget. I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was something like $3,000 or so. I told my wife to handle it, but just let me know if anything changed. And they're plugging along. Some of the stuff, I'm like, is that really going to fit within the budget we agreed upon? And I asked her a few times, and she was vague, but openly admitted later that she was purposefully misleading. The scope of the work, I just didn't believe it, was possible to fit within our budget. She was having custom drapes made, custom furniture built, custom bed. Anyway, after asking a few times, she was always vague and wasn't forthright. Of course, at the end of the day, she went way over budget. Not just like a few dollars, like a multiple of 10 times over. Anyway, yeah. She later acknowledged that she had lied, but still I never felt she'd lied to me about something important. And to be clear, the money wasn't an issue. It's not like she put us in trouble or anything. If she told me that number to begin with, I'd have been okay. And she got in over her head and was embarrassed. She'd have never lied about something big and truly real. I mean, I knew she had to be overrunning the budget given the scale. I just went in and let her handle it. But she learned how to manage these things and learned how she could be honest with me, and I'm not going to jump down her throat or anything. But for her, it was conflict avoidance. We hadn't been married too long at that point. OP replied saying, I thank you once again for taking all the time to reply. After our conversation last night, I tend to believe most of what you said is true and correct for our case as well. However, when the pressure was on during the conversation, she sort of admitted that if she would cheat, she wouldn't tell me because this would end our relationship. I don't believe she already did, although I have my concerns, but this sentence really makes me think. Yes, it's true for most people, albeit how right they want to show they are, would not confess on something like this unless shit hit the fan. Yeah, I agree. OP, just keep an eye on everything. If you think it's just a small, a small white lie. Just keep tabs on everything that's going on. See if this pattern of behavior continues, basically. Tricky situation. So, what do you think OP should do? What would you do in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comments. Alrighty, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, hit the subscribe button. Alrighty, we'll have to leave that there. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.